What in the world is going on? I bet you've never seen an octopus punching a fish before. I'm not even sure if you've seen an octopus in person at all before. I'm not even sure if I've seen an octopus in person before. I'm a fake marine biology student, I suppose. Look, the aquarium is really expensive, and I'm on a college kid's budget here. So why is this ill-mannered cephalopod lashing out in such a way? At first glance, it seems the fish was just minding its own business, though perhaps a little too close to the octopus's personal bubble. However, this is not simply a case of a short-tempered octopus taking out its big emotions on a poor, unsuspecting passerby. This is actually an incredibly interesting and complex form of symbiosis, or more specifically, a mutualism. In order to set the stage to discuss this specific scenario, though, I'm going to zoom out a bit and talk about symbioses and species interaction as a whole. Species interaction as a concept is pretty self-explanatory. Species interact in different ways to achieve different goals. Species almost always act in their own self-interest, but the way that their actions affect other species and the way that the others affect them defines what type of species interaction is occurring. Species interactions are typically categorized in terms of the effect to the individuals involved, with positive, negative, and neutral outcomes possible. Competition occurs when both parties are negatively affected. If two birds are competing for fruit on a tree, even if one outcompetes the other, it still lost some of its potential food to the competitor or lost time and effort in fending them off. Amensalism and commensalism both involve a party receiving no benefit or cost. An amensal species may harm another with no benefit to itself. A commensal species may be an unharmed host to another who benefits from the nutrients or protection, like the barnacles on a whale. Parasitism and predation both involve a negatively and positively impacted party. A parasite negatively impacts its host, while benefiting from the consumption, infection, or vector transport from the host. Predators gain energy from prey, while prey lose their lives or have significantly impacted fitness from the interaction. Mutualism is precisely what it seems to be. Neither species particularly benefits or has a significant cost. Lastly, we have mutualism, our focus. Mutualisms are perhaps the most complex of the species interactions and involve two parties interacting in a way that benefits both. Mutualisms are not to be confused with reciprocal altruism or altruistic intent in any way, however, as both species are acting selfishly in a way that happens to benefit the other. Mutualisms have played huge roles in the development and evolution of life on Earth. For example, these symbioses were essential for the colonization of land through associations of plants with bacteria and fungi in their roots. Pollinator and plant mutualisms revolutionized the diversification of plants on Earth, to the point that flowering plants are by far the most successful group, with 80 to 90% estimated to be animal pollinated. Throughout all forms of life, mutualisms occur that completely change the way organisms approach the game of life, which brings us back to our crazy octopuses. Cephalopods have evolved incredibly intricate brains and nervous systems, which allow them to engage in complex social interactions and hunting behaviors. These behaviors do not just influence the way they operate individually, it actually extends their predatory prowess to include cooperations with bands of fish. Cephalopods employ their little friends to scout the surrounding area for prey, and if prey is found, the octopus can reach its dexterous tentacles into incredibly small spaces to capture that prey. As the octopus eats, the fish surround it and catch whatever bits escape the octopus's grasp. Surely now you're wondering where exactly the punching comes into play. Seems like a pretty sealed deal. Everybody gets what they want, right? Unfortunately, not every member of the fish team is the most focused or efficient, and octopuses enact a punishment on those who do not do their jobs. This is not unique to the octopus-fish scenario, however, so let's zoom back out for a second and chat about mutualisms again. Mutualisms are only beneficial if both individuals receive a benefit that is at least equal to the cost of maintaining it. Some individuals tend to cheat, where they will extort more from their partner than they give back. Cheating is not always intentional, but either way, the other species incurs a cost that can sometimes be life or death. It would be a great scenario for the cheater if they got away with it, but the other party tends not to be too receptive of this sort of behavior. Many mutualistic species will impose punishments to discourage this cheating behavior, and that is exactly what the octopus does. When the fish get sidetracked on their mission, the octopus loses out on a valuable scout. As mentioned before, mutualism is not practical if the cost outweighs the benefit, and if the octopus has to do more work itself, the cost begins to rise. The solution to this problem? A swift punch right to the side of the fish, snapping it back into reality and realigning it with the mission. I'm Emily Ranfola from the Fall 2024 edition of B-Sci 361 at University of Maryland. I hope you enjoyed my video.